Welcome, everybody, to Innate Interviews. I'm your host, Dr. Haig John, and I have Dr. Stephen Simonetti, my friend, on our podcast today. I'm really excited to have you. Welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. I really cherish the opportunity. Thank you so much again.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm happy to see you again. It's been a while. The last time I saw you was in Cuba at the chiropractic event put on by Peter Morgan, and we had a great time. It was absolutely amazing in Cuba. And were you just in the one in Italy as well?
Yes, I was. It was in Assisi. It was great. Dr. Morgan puts on some great programs, and I'm with him a lot of my professional life, personally as well. We're great friends, but we've done a lot of work in Haiti together,
Yeah.
bringing chiropractic to Haiti and helping the Haitian people. Maybe we'll talk more about that a little later too.
Well, I mean, how many missions? How many
I,
missions have
I
you been
well,
on?
Peter's done about 120. I did about 34 or so.
Wow.
Yeah, I went down the initial time, so I guess we'll talk a little bit about that now. I
Yeah,
went down
yeah.
the initial time to adjust until my hands bled. I wanted to just serve, and I quickly realized that I've been involved in politics my whole professional life as well, and I was getting out of that, and I realized I could influence the young minds and hands, and I love to teach. I didn't want to get a degree necessarily to do so. So I taught technique and philosophy, and then I realized my job was to adjust the adjusters and send them out on their way. And we adjusted hundreds of thousands of people, and then it transitioned to my own and my wife's foundation, helping the children and the community in Wanamint and Malfatti, Haiti.
You know, I want to touch on that part. So what is that you're setting? You and your wife? Just
Well,
explain that a
what
little bit
happened?
more.
What happened was Peter Morgan was helping
Oh, we got a little glitch in the internet.
orphans, and we had a friend we ran the mission with.
Steven, you're glitching out a little bit.
So again, after the earthquake, there were a lot of children
Oh
left
my
without
gosh.
parents,
Mhm.
and that was in the capital in Port-au-Prince. But we set up tents. We found homes for a lot of the children, but about 30 or so we brought to where our missions were in Wanamith, Haiti.
Mhm.
And most of the children, when they entered the school system, were home schooled. We
Yeah,
had no way to fund their education, or Dr. Morgan didn't, Peter, my good friend. So
yeah.
my wife had the foresight of forming our own foundation, the Wellness for All Foundation, and we built an orphanage. We first started paying for their education. It really was
Wow.
like The Secret, when you storyboard something, and we literally did that when our kids came down, and we prayed on the land that the administrator owned there, the father of the children, and 8 years later, what we prayed for is on that campus. And I'm not going to take the time here to go over the everything that's there, but it was a health center. Instead of the health center, we have a birth. We thought it'd be a chiropractic center. It's a birthing center with where we employ three
Wow.
midwives, but they all get adjusted. So it really is a chiropractic health center. Is
Sure.
all the babies, and we have an orphanage and businesses, and then my wife and I, through the grace of God and a help from a lot of people and our own funding, we built a church and a school up the road, 30 minutes up the road in the town of Malfatti. And we pay 6 teachers, and we educate about another 140 children there. But we
Wow.
since put in a radio station for him, Pastor Prosper, a barber shop. We got solar. You have to see everybody from the community comes in, and they don't have electric, but they have cell phones. So they come in and plug, and he earns enough money from that and the rest. And then we got a farm in between the two properties, and we're farming a lot of stuff, hopefully soon for the community as well. And I'm getting into the little bit of the business, but we have a sewing center where they make their own uniforms, and still are going to soon, because we have solar, make that a thriving business as well. So
Well,
it has been amazing, all through the power of chiropractic,
yeah.
all through the power of putting our hands on people.
Well, I mean, that is just absolutely beautiful. I didn't know the depth of what that project really was all about until just this moment. I've known about it. We kind of talk about it in chiropractic. We need to take care of that whole thing, but I didn't know how deep that went. And that is truly amazing. Even teaching the skills and sewing where something they could use the rest of their life and all that. That is, when you were talking, I was thinking of all our mentors, Pasquale Sarasoli, Clarence Jensen, BJ Palmer, DD, all these amazing people talk about serving. And that's a true servant's heart. And that is, God bless you on that project. That is absolutely amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you much. It really has been something that's enriched my life. When I got remarried, I told my wife, we have 3 kids, but we have another 30 or so little darker colored kids, and they love her, and it's enriched her life, and
Wow.
it's been wonderful.
I can't wait to get out there myself sometime. I think that's truly amazing.
Well, we'll have a blast, man. I'm telling you, you will love them. You can't help but love them.
I already do. I already do. Right. That's awesome. Well, tell me about being in practice. How long have you been in practice?
42 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 42 years in the same town. Uh, and in some ways it seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm getting, it seems like I just set up yesterday. I'm doing new things and getting excited like I was the first time in practice. And for those of us who set up practice, the planning for me is the most exciting thing. The doing, yeah, that's okay, but it's an excitement, and
Yeah.
and now with social media and different ways that I'm communicating. It used to be, the old patient education was hitting somebody over the head with a 2x4, and my friend said if they didn't make the person cry during the report of findings, they didn't do a good job. It was
I,
the devastating effects of subluxation. Well, people are much more educated with internet and everything else, and so the education systems have changed, and I love doing that too, just adapting and changing.
yeah. I mean that's it. Is because the education part is so important, and even for the chiropractor themselves or anybody in service, right? Is having that philosophy within, helping other people understand that, and the people that want it, they know what they're attracted to. They have the right vibration, and they're going to be attracted to you for that level of education about their life, their health, God within them, and all those amazing things. What chiropractic is based on.
Well, you know what? And I learned everybody needs to hear it a little different. So I
True.
believe, some people I use nature, the intelligence within. Some people I tell them our number one premise, like, a pastor comes in, so a mother, whoever it is, when you
Yeah.
think about a universal intelligence is in all matter and continually gives to it all of its properties and actions, thus maintaining it in existence. That resonates. People don't even have a clue that that's chiropractic.
Yeah.
We've done a terrible job, right? We really have done. Like, how many people in your practice, in the legislatures, in in the legislature, anywhere,
Yeah.
understand where chiropractic comes from?
Even within our own ranks, let's be real. And that's why we do podcasts like this. This is why we have new beginnings. It's why all these things, why Dr. Sid started DE, all these things is to take the people that are lost, help them to serve more people, and perpetuate and literally teach that philosophy. That's the first premise. That's our first principle in Stevenson's chiropractic textbook, is what Dr. Steve just quoted, which is absolutely amazing. It's world changing. And when you read, when we just did in our podcast and our other one, this is a plug for my other podcast, our Synapse Philosophy podcast, we've gone through those 33 principles in the senior text of that, and then reading Stevenson's description. And when you could even read the excitement of these guys writing in the 1920s, and they're teaching us really to look at this body in a much more amazing way. We're not just a lump of flesh. We're not just this earthly stuff. There's a spirit within. And to honor that, understand it, it's so much bigger than we even realize, right? And so a lot of the chiropractic philosophy is giving us an understanding of the bigness of the fellow within, which is really, it's another chiropractic green book or philosophy book for everybody. And but I think the title of that really sums up chiropractic itself, and that means woman too. Let's just say that.
Well, it's amazing because you said it before. When you introduce that to some people, they're ready for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of the world is not. And this is one thing I learned from a friend of mine. It's a numbers game.
Mm.
And this is the reason that we have to start getting a little more fanatical, right? We need to start getting our message out in a much larger scale, because it's you plant the seed, some falls on rocky ground, some doesn't get shade or sun or whatever it needs. So you have to get this to as many people. You have to have a
Definitely.
burning desire to serve, for your practice, for your family, but for chiropractic, to make sure that we don't lose the principle, and it doesn't just go by the wayside because we haven't told enough people. And it's like the 100th monkey theory. You
That's right.
tell enough people. In fact, I'm still saving my bell bottoms because I think they're going to come back in season. Things come in and out, but a truth endures. And we just have to and that's why I started going to DE, and that's why now I'm a new beginnings-ite, if that's a term, because we need to teach this to our own ranks. We need to, I was fortunate to get it, but we're a minority because we're chiropractors. We're a minority because, for lack of a better word, principled or straight chiropractors, right? So we need to get our ranks growing, because I just happened to go to the right school. I spoke with the right people. I hung out with the right people. I had a field doctor. I went to Life College,
That's what I was
and
going to ask. What
yeah,
college,
yeah.
chiropractic college, you go to?
Well, I went to Life, and I support them. I support Life West. I support Sherman.
Me too.
And the reason again is there are people, but there are people who come from the other schools because I got to experience students through my mission work, and
Mm-hmm.
and they want this. They just don't know it. I just spoke with somebody who, I don't want to mention the school because it's probably a HIPAA violation. No, it's not, but it's Palmer East, but I mentioned it anyway, where they're they're telling everybody to refer out, that unless it's
Oh
a
yeah,
musculoskeletal condition,
yeah.
but the guy I'm speaking with there comes to New Beginnings. All right, it's an oasis for him as a new practitioner, and this is my word about that. New Beginnings is an oasis, just like these other, Mountain High, and if that's the name of it out west, and DE is, and just as those three schools are oases, we need to build this foundation, because we need to start getting more docs
Yep.
understanding chiropractic to begin with, learning how to communicate it, because you can understand it. What New Beginnings taught me is how to communicate it,
That's
how to get
important.
how to get an earthling who has no idea, that they think they know that health comes from the inside. I know, oh, I don't believe in drugs. But when you ask them, yeah, but I take this when I have a headache. I take this. These are your patients, right? I don't believe in drugs. But they don't respect their bodies, that because they don't understand that they need to. Again, we need to grow these groups, because the schools are not teaching them. And I hate to say it, even the three I mentioned are not as strong. When I went to Life, we learned 12 different ways to move one bone in 6 directions, right? Now every school is teaching regional adjusting. And just that, from a technique part, you cannot apply the philosophy from a technique part if you're looking at it regionally. So we teach technique at New Beginnings too, because it is a science, an art, and a philosophy.
That regional thing, if you are only looking at, if someone only complains, this literally happened to me in practice yesterday. Okay. The woman, horrendous back pain. She spent thousands, get all the specialists everywhere. Everyone looked at her low back, and their discs were beautiful, right? Straightened out lumbar curve, which immediately tells me there's something going on way above that. Nobody looked at any of that. Her atlas was subluxated. Cervicals were, literally going in the wrong direction, right? But no one ever told her that. This was all causing the whole system to be under duress. She was subluxated way above the low back. And I mean, I felt so bad when she told me all the money she spent, but then I told her, why don't you just write me a check for all that? And then, I'll say, because, but all joking aside, I did say it because in reality, right, if you would have stroked me that check in the very beginning, we would have solved all this problem. I'm joking, really, but.
Well, Hank, that's such an interesting thing because I got to tell you this. So early in practice, I have this woman, Mary, and she's brought in on a stretcher.
Oh.
Now, I do adjusting. I teach integrative Thompson, and I do some traction too, for some things. And so she comes in, and I mean, I'm new, and I'm like, shit in my, I don't know if I can say that, but I'm, oh my God, this woman, she could lose bladder control. She could do anything on my table.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But so she comes in 3 times and escorted with a stretcher onto the table, coming in an ambulance. I finally got her feeling well enough. I turn around. This is God honest truth. I adjust her atlas. Supine breaks, simple adjustment. She gets up, she walks, and we send the ambulance to go home.
That's incredible.
So, yeah. So, and again, it's because the torquing of the meninges and everything else.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just so grateful the miracles you mentioned that earlier that I see and continually. It's just I'm in awe of the power of our hands. Incredible. And more importantly, the power of communicating a principle and getting a person to understand it, and the ability we have to change lives, and how people, once they get it, they interact with their family different from the adjustment and from the understanding. Their whole lives are different.
Well, Dr. Steve Simonetti, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And send me all the links, because if you want to donate to this cause, are you guys taking donations?
Yes, we have a site that you'll see some of the work we're doing. You'll get an update, and you could sponsor a child's education. It's $15 a month. It's the best. Wow. It's the best money you'll ever spend, because we have 0 administrative costs. Even when I go down there, I pay my own airfare. We have 0 administrative costs. We got a great board. They do a lot of work, but nobody gets anything except the kids in Haiti.
Well, that's the one thing that keeps a lot of us from donating to things. So what goes to the kids? And you just literally brought me to tears. I'm so excited to hear about that. And, I love and appreciate you, man. And thank you for being on with us today. And I got a lot out of this too. And, keep going with those projects. I'm here to serve too. Whatever you need from me, let's post this. We'll get a lot of donations and also help a lot of kids. Okay.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
God bless you, my brother. We'll talk again soon.
Very